We've always been told that to grow more, you need more water. It just seems like the most basic rule of farming, right? But what if that rule is wrong? Today, we're going to dig into some fascinating research that turns that entire idea completely on its head. I know, it sounds completely backward, doesn't it? For thousands of years, the formula has been simple. More water means more crops. But what if we've been thinking about a plant's thirst all wrong? This one question is really at the heart of everything we're talking about today. And it's a question we absolutely have to answer. Think about it. With the global population continuing to climb and fresh water getting scarcer, figuring out how to grow more food with less isn't just a cool science project, it's become a global necessity. So, to really get why this is such a big deal, we need to zoom out for a second and look at the sheer scale of the problem. Okay, check this out. Only about 17% of the world's farmland is actually irrigated, but that tiny, thirsty slice produces a whopping 40% of all our food. That tells you just how incredibly dependent we are on a practice that puts a massive strain on our water supplies. And right at the center of this whole story is one of the planet's most important crops, maize, or as you probably call it, corn. It's a staple food for billions of people. Just to give you some perspective, in Ethiopia, which is where the research we're looking at took place, it's a critical crop for over 9 million families. So yeah, making corn farming even a little more efficient could change millions of lives. And this is where it gets really interesting. A group of scientists in Ethiopia decided to challenge pretty much everything we thought we knew about watering corn. So here's how the experiment worked. A maize plant has 4 main stages in its life: the initial sprouting, then its development, then the supercritical mid-season when it flowers, and finally, the late season when the grain itself fills out. The researchers had a hunch that the plant's need for water isn't the same across all 4 stages. So the big question was, when does water matter most? And could holding it back at certain times actually be a good thing? Now, to test this, they used a technique called moisture stress. It's just a scientific way of saying they deliberately withheld water from the corn during different combinations of those 4 stages. You can almost think of it like training an athlete. You put their body under controlled stress to force it to get stronger. The scientists wondered if they could do the exact same thing for a corn plant. But before the scientists found the key to success, their experiment first taught them a really crucial lesson about failure. They found the absolute worst time to put a plant under stress. And the results were, well, dramatic. On the left, you can see the harvest from a crop that got all the water it wanted, a really solid 7,098 kilograms per hectare. But just look at the bar on the right. When they withheld water during those crucial middle stages, the development and mid-season, the harvest completely collapsed. It plummeted to just 257 kilograms. We're talking a near total crop failure. The researchers' conclusion was crystal clear. In their own words, this combination of stresses is the danger zone. It's the plant's most vulnerable moment, and cutting off its water supply then is just catastrophic. Honestly, that finding alone is incredibly valuable for farmers everywhere. But the story doesn't end in disaster, because while stress at the wrong time was terrible, stress at the right time, well, it produced a result that I don't think anyone saw coming. Take a look at this chart. It shows the average yield from all the different stress tests they ran over 2 years. All the way on the right, that's the no-stress group, the one that got plenty of water. But now, just scan your eyes to the left. Do you see it? One of the bars from a stressed group is actually taller than the fully watered one. And here it is, the study's most groundbreaking discovery. The group that was fully irrigated averaged about 9,250 kilograms per hectare. But the group that was stressed only during that initial sprouting stage, it produced an average of 10,500 kilograms. That is a bigger harvest with less water. It turns out this early stress forces the plant to develop a stronger, deeper root system, which makes it tougher and way more productive for the rest of its life. So this is amazing, but what does it actually mean for the future of farming? Well, it all comes down to this concept called water use efficiency. It's a pretty simple idea with a really powerful goal. How do we get the most crop possible out of every single drop of water we use? And this research gives us a clear, practical answer. By strategically holding back water very early in the plant's life, farmers can not only increase their total harvest, but also get the best possible water use efficiency. They grow more food, and they save water while doing it. It's a total win-win that could seriously reshape how we irrigate crops all over the world.
It really leaves you with a final kind of mind-bending thought. For centuries, we just assumed more water was always better. This research proves that's just not true. It really makes you wonder, what other fundamental rules of nature are we just following blindly that are just waiting